me a favor, please? Get out of here.
Times delusional wokies got destroyed by normal ordinary people just like you. Hopefully. Alright, grab a snack and enjoy. Let's get into it.
I just had a...
Wait, yo, white man, I don't trust white men with red ties. Are you a white man? You either want money or clout. What do you want from me, white man?
I'm gonna come.
I don't like white men with red ties asking me these questions.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
It's gonna lead to...
Can I ask you one more?
What?
It's gonna lead to white man.
What is she talking about? Which planet is she from? And if I didn't know any better, I'm looking at two white men with the red ties. One, well, more racist than the other.
I've been on dating apps, I've had people set me up, whatever. They're pretty much all like Harvard Law School, you know, Ivy League, you know, tech leads, including like my fiance. And actually he's the lowest earning and lowest net worth guy that I have dated. Money is not the thing I am going for.
Why does that matter?
And I would also like to say that I've actually talked to, like, even if not met, but seriously talked to and considered a total of, I approximated 10,000 guys.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
10,000 men before finding one person. 10,000.
No, how old are you?
Oh, 26. I've talked to. Yes. So play whatever you want, you know? I mean, you don't know me as a person.
I don't think anyone wants to get to know her as a person. 10,000 guys? That's more like drove over, bro. I mean, millionaires and billionaires? Come on, I'm calling some woke BS. She's a 5 and I'm being generous.
Like, just based off of the conversation we're having now.
Like if it were a date?
Yeah.
Go back. You know I want to
I'm not really sure. Kind of got a blindfold on, so I don't really know what to ask you. You can take a blindfold off.
I'm not your typical 10.
Shut the fuck up.
So, like, what our looks like?
10 tons,
to you,
maybe.
Like, what is the vibe?
Not everything, but it plays a big part.
For sure. Well, with that being said, you can take your blindfold off.
Don't do it, brother. Don't do it.
Jesus Christ.
So this is Gorlock the Destroyer, or Snorlax, or whatever you want to call this. She really tried to hide it, diverting the conversation away from her looks because she knew what would happen. And brother, we feel you.
Should not be able to irreversibly damage themselves.
Let's say a bunch of kids are getting gender affirmation.
Thousands of kids every month.
Let's say. That is a decision between the child, the parent, and the doctor. That has nothing to do with it.
Should kids be able to get tattoos?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Should kids be able to own AR-15s?
Oh my god.
No.
Why?
Because that is harmful.
Got him!
It can be a
so AR-15s are harmful, but cutting off your breasts or potentially castrating yourself.
Got him.
Gender-affirming care.
I mean,
yeah.
given that you're under anesthesia.
Do you understand the medieval horror
what the hell?
You're advocating for? We say no.
Yes.
So a 15-year-old, puberty is not the problem. Puberty is the solution to the trans issue, where that almost every young lady or young man will have some sort of anxiety of how they feel at age 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe instead of telling them that they might be somebody in another body, we should allow them to continue to grow and develop into the body that God made them in, and say that puberty will actually solve the problem.
Yeah, maybe let children go through their natural processes, and then once they're old enough to make stupid decisions, do whatever you want. And bro, anesthesia? Really? So by that logic, if you shot someone with an AR-15 under anesthesia, it's totally fine. Right, woke logic. Let's keep going.
Can you identify as a black person?
No.
Why?
I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
Like, if that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry. Like, you're black, right?
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
Women. Ah, my god. It's always the same old with them, man. One thing I can notice right away is that critical thinking is not her strong point. He's literally using her own logic, but she's over it? Yeah, right.
So if a child comes up to me and says, I'm in the wrong body, I'm not going to sit there and tell them they're wrong. I have a kid come in and they say, Miss Emily, I think I want to be a boy. Okay.
We do not care.
Talk to me. Why do you feel that way?
So here's what's actually happening in that instance.
This child is deluded.
I'm actually done
You have a
with this.
child who's deluded.
I'm so sorry that you think this
That's
way,
fine,
and I
but
hope
I'm gonna
one
get
day
my
you
point out
respect
here.
people. I'm actually walking
You've got a
away.
child
You can
who's
turn the
deluded.
camera off.
And when you affirm that delusion, you are cementing this abusive thought in place that there's something wrong with this child and that the only way they find true happiness is by physically changing their body and sterilizing themselves.
A small child goes to her and says, I'm confused. Well, let's talk about why you're confused and let me reinforce why that's correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
I get tired of her, and she is a child abuser. Whether she thinks she's loving or not is not the point.
One reason the student might be confused is they're talking to the Michelin Tires woman. I don't think a student should even be encouraged to talk about it to their teacher. The teacher, the grown-ass woman, should be sensible enough to understand that it's not her place and the kids should go talk to their parents. Don't try to be a hero.
You went ahead and took a paternity test without your knowledge, and then you found out about it. Would that upset you?
Yes. I mean, if he doesn't tell you, doing anything behind your, communication and trust is bigger than the relationship. I mean, trust is the relationship, in my opinion.
Had to go again.
Women are always assured of paternity. Men are the only ones who are ever going to have doubts about paternity. I don't think that it even has anything to do with whether or not they trust their partner, but rather it's just peace of mind. So if you set up the option of, if you asked me for a paternity test, I would get super offended and I would be upset about it. What choice are you giving them except to go ahead and go behind your back?
The thing is, my expectation is that he trusts me.
Jesus Christ, okay. Did she say anything besides the word trust at that point? As repeatedly mentioned, it's not about trust. Not everything can be brushed off with, oh, he should trust me. If a man or any individual in a case thinks that, they can get peace of mind by doing something that does not affect anyone, so be it. A woman can abort the child without telling a man. Trust.
And womanhood then just be appropriated. Someone can then say, I am what you are. So Dylan Mulvaney, who's a biological man who thinks he's a preteen woman, is he a woman?
I feel like I'm just not in the position to tell him he's not a woman. If he says, if they say that they are a woman, I have no, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, are you a woman? Are you a man? That's nothing to do with me, honestly.
Got it. So if I'm 30, if I said I was 12, would you acknowledge that?
Yes, I would. It's kind of like a mental illness.
My God.
Like, you know how someone could be 30 and they
There
could
you
truly
go.
believe they're 12. Like, those people really exist. It's a mental illness.
Great point. So if somebody, you're in healthcare, came to you and they said, I'm anorexic, so I think I'm fat. And they said, I want liposuction. Should you give them that surgery?
Of course not, because that would be compromising their actual health.
Hold on. But you just said that we have to affirm somebody's mental illness. They want liposuction. Why shouldn't they get it? Wouldn't it make more sense to treat the person and say, you're not what you think you are, rather than affirming the lie that they think there's something else? In trans care, a 14-year-old can get their breast removed if they think they're another sex, if they think it. So the question is, when it comes to trans people, why don't we treat their brain instead of their body?
We really let it all slip when people just gave up and started going along with the madness. She calls him he repeatedly and clearly states that it's a mental illness. Being a healthcare worker, what more do you need to hear?
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be? Magic. What if you had super strength? Would you use that to secure the southern border?
That's a good question. Can we talk about what is the southern border?
Yeah, it's the wall in between Texas and Mexico. It's
no, I wouldn't.
Where the illegal immigrants are crossing it.
It would be great to have a system to get them here easier, but like, who are we to say no? Like, it's supposed to be the land of the free, and yet we are here and we're like, no, you can't come.
That's not.
And
you think they should be able to vote?
Absolutely.
Illegal immigrants?
Yeah, because I wouldn't even call them illegal immigrants. I would call them undocumented citizens.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Because they're still citizens.
Undocumented citizens is the equivalent of calling a prostitute a lady of the night. Yikes! Someone explain to the they, them, transsexual, homosexual, crab, sexual Mr. Krabs. I don't know, man. Like, by letting them in and letting them do anything is gonna result in anarchy and chaos.
I'm a little trans girl, small and cute.
What's that, brother?
You got my pigtails just there, I get all steamed up, I can tell.
What the fuck?
That tip me over part sounds kind of inappropriate though. So I'm gonna stop the song there and keep it kid friendly. For all my young followers out there, stay proud, stay beautiful, and stay kind. Bye.
There's nothing kid-friendly about the inbred mix of the Joker and Harley Quinn. You're not a little girl, you're a little-brained, deluded, troubled man.
I want to skip puberty.
I would not. How about I think that I'm a girl.
And I want to skip puberty.
I want to be a girl and I don't want to be a boy. What are you gonna do? You gonna let them go through puberty? I mean, it's the child's like. If that's what they're telling you as a parent, I'm gonna let my child. I don't have kids, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
It is tough. As a parent, it is tough because I'm a single mom, so it's harder on me.
Jesus Christ.
But you can. I'm sorry. You came in this world a certain way. You know what I'm saying? If you want to dress a different way, cool. But as long as you're in my household, and I firmly believe like how you are is how you're meant to be in this world. You're beautiful how you are. If you feel uncomfortable, there's psychiatrists, there's other ways to go about it.
Taking parenting advice from a childless liberal woman is like asking a checkers player how to become a world champion MMA fighter. She says give the child what they want. Parents giving their children what they want makes spoiled, ungrateful, weak, and fat children.
Do you think that selling your nudes online and do you think the money that you make from that translates to any sort of intelligence or skill, or are you do you accept the fact that you have no skill and maybe lack a lot of intelligence, which is why you had to go down that path?
That is not why I had to go down that path.
Yeah.
I have a degree.
A degree in what?
Philosophy.
You could have become a very well-respected lawyer, had a good career.
Yeah.
But what do you think your kids are gonna think when they said, "Oh, my mom had two options. They could have been a philosopher and a lawyer who made a lot of money, but they decided to be an online for 2 years, and then when they got ugly, now nobody wants to hire them anymore because they ruined their name and their reputation."
Jesus Christ. We can conclude she doesn't have any skill or intelligence because a literal 16-year-old was able to shut her up with cold, hard facts.
What age did you know that you were gay?
I think at like 10 I knew that I think at 10, but I wasn't I wasn't clear on my gender.
Yeah, I think it was around like 10 as well when I started questioning if I was bi.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
since then it was kind of like a slippery slope because I was like, am I bi, omni, lesbian? And then I kind of like came to the point, and then now recently I've been like, am I pan? But then I think now I'm starting to realize that I'm queer. But yeah, it started around 10. It wasn't like fully formed, but I guess like that's when I realized, wait, that's a possibility. Yeah. I am genderqueer, transmasc, and queer.
What's transmasc?
Transmasc is like people under the non-binary umbrella identifying like or presenting masc.
Masculine?
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. Why is anyone at 10 wondering if they're queer, pansexual, or whatever else on the spectrum? It's all the parents' fault at this point, man.
If my child wants to grow up being a female, and with me, believe it or not, I take off my hat, I look like a male.
Are you serious?
I don't think of myself as a female. I think of myself as a pansexual. I am a male trapped in a female's body.
And I've decided that I want to die.
And honestly, if my child doesn't have to have the gender on his birth certificate, that'd be f***ing awesome. If he wants to become a girl later on, I'm so for it. I'll tell him, what hospital do you want to go to right now?
I'm so trapped. No, you're not. You're just insane. Wishing your child is as confused and just as much of a mess as you are is terrifying. Get some help, please. Thanks.
A minor comes out to you as trans, gay, lesbian, bi, whatever. Your first move should not be immediately to go tell the parents. That's not it, and here's
Yes,
why.
it should be.
Thank the
Yes,
child
it is.
for sharing that information with you. Let them know that you support them and are happy that they know who they are. But you should also ask if there's anyone that they're not sharing this information with and who you can share this information with.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Because they may have come out to you
so
because home is
ridiculous.
not a safe or supportive place for them.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not gonna hear a fucking creep with 10-inch nails. You keep telling children their family's unsafe, what do you think is gonna happen? Bunch of deluded individuals supporting each other's insanity, and a slew of parents wondering what the hell went wrong. Let parents decide for their children. Peace out.